Hello again everybody, welcome back. Today I am going to talk to you about my newborn baby, must-haves and do-withouts. So I watched tons of these videos when I was pregnant with Emmett, and I still ended up with stuff that I didn't have that I needed and stuff that I had gotten and was like, what the heck am I going to do with this? So I'm going to do my own version of must-haves and do-withouts. So babies really don't need a whole heck of a lot. They really don't. Basic minimums. They eat, they sleep, they poop. I'm going to add two more categories. They need clothes, and they need health and hygiene items. So, eating. Babies either breastfed or bottle fed. It's really not that hard. You either need boobs, that I'm going to do a separate video on, breastfeeding needs, because you do need a few things for breastfeeding, as much as it is just boobs. I found there was a few items that I needed. And bottle feeding. Now in my schooling I did a course on breastfeeding and infant development, and the one thing I learned that doesn't seem to be on YouTube as much is that when you are bottle feeding a baby, don't try 50 million different kinds of bottles. Do your research, pick one that you are comfortable with that you think will be great, and it will be fine. Babies, as much as they have tons of stuff to learn, they don't need to learn 50 million different bottles. You have one pair of boobs and they'll either figure it out or they won't. And bottles are really quite the same. If you give them one kind, they will figure out how hard they need to suck, how fast they need to swallow, how slow they need to swallow, and they will figure it out and become less and less gassy. Whereas if you're changing up your bottle all the time, then that will be a continued problem. They won't know. They'll have to constantly be learning how hard to suck on this one, how soft to suck on that one. So pick one kind and stick with it. Alright, there's my rant about bottle feeding. So they eat, they sleep. Sleep, babies, they need somewhere safe to sleep. Whether you are co-sleeping, whether that means bed sharing or room sharing, they need somewhere to sleep in your room. Or if you are putting them in a crib in their own room, you'll need a crib. So a bassinet, a crib, a mattress protector if they're going to co-sleep with you. You need to decide where you're going to have your baby sleep. That is a safe place for baby to sleep, and get them what they need to be there, whether that be a crib with crib sheets, whether that be a bassinet sheets, whether that be pack and play and you have one of the pack and play sheets, or a sturdy dresser drawer and you need a mattress of some kind in there. You just need baby a safe place to sleep. Babies love to be swaddled. My number one product here is a Muslin swaddle blanket. And these are fantastic. They are absolutely huge. They are breathable, they are airy. You don't get too many babies overheating in these suckers. And they are multi-purpose. You can use it as a car seat cover. You can use it as a nursing cover. They are just fabulous. I did find I also needed just some normal receiving blankets as well, but really you can make do with a few of these. I only had two to start with and my receiving blanket pile, but I now have 4 of these because they are fantastic. So a couple of muslin swaddle blankets will get you a long way. You can swaddle, you can do a very good tight swaddle with one of these because they are so large and you'll be able to use them for quite some time as your baby grows. Muslin swaddle blankets. Love them. My next must-have is a baby monitor. My baby sleeping right now. Yay! We can do a video. But the thing I love about a baby monitor is I know he's okay. I can keep him in one spot. I had a little bit of an addiction for a while that I would watch and I would research, and I knew exactly how he would sleep and where he would sleep and how he rolled over and what he would do. I had a little obsession with this thing for a while. But the real things that you want to look for is I absolutely love one with a temperature probe. So something that would tell me the temperature. In the summer I knew when I needed to go and turn the air conditioning on. I knew when he was getting too hot. And now that it's winter, I can keep my room at a very consistent temperature, and I love that feature. As for some of the other stuff, it doesn't really matter if it plays music, but a lot of them do. If you can talk back and forth, that's great. But realistically, when you bump the music button and you got a baby sleeping on the other end, it can be a little bit of a toss-up. But I did really like this model. So a baby monitor. One of my I didn't needs along the same lines is the Snuza baby monitor. So this is a breathing monitor, and a lot of mums, YouTube mums, had done reviews on these, and I'm like, I need one of those. And then I saw them on one of the Steel sites anyway, and I'm like, I've got to have that thing. And you really don't. When Emmett was first born, and is when I really thought I would use it, those first couple weeks, putting this on his diaper beside his umbilical stump, it didn't fit, and everything was just too cumbersome, and I didn't use it. And as time went on, I trusted that my baby was okay, and I knew how he slept and was comfortable not to use this. Now, if there had been problems at the beginning, I'm sure I would have been head over heels in love with this thing. Or if his umbilical cord had at least fallen off in a timely fashion, we had that thing for over 2 weeks, then I might have used it. But I really didn't need the Snuza baby monitor as much as every other mum seems to rave about them. I do think they're great, and for some mums they may definitely need that comfort and reassurance. But after watching my baby and keeping him close for those first couple weeks, I trusted that he was okay. So I personally did not need the Snuza baby monitor. Along the lines of a safe place to put your baby down and sleep are a bouncer seat or a baby swing. At first we thought we were just going to use bouncer seat and it was going to be great, and I'd have a place to put him down out front, or if I needed to go to the bathroom or take a shower. And it didn't really work out that way. Emmett did not like it, so I ended up putting him on a blanket on the floor, and I was like, with the dogs, and leave him on the blanket on the couch. I'm like, what are you going to do if you roll? So we did end up getting a swing, and the swing was fantastic. He took many a naps in that thing. I was able to put him down in there, make dinner, stuff like that. So one or the other, or both if your budget allows. But I would definitely say the swing far outweighed the bouncer for me. For future babies. I will put a picture of him in both. And then there's one other that I touched on the other day, and that is Babywearing. When you're out and about, Emmett would not sleep in his car seat. He would just scream. Scream, scream, scream for months. So I would baby wear him and put him in a carrier, and he would quite often nap in there. Even around the house, if I wanted to get a few things done and I could not for the life of me get that kid down for a nap, I would put him in a carrier and he would fall asleep. Or we would go for a walk and he would fall asleep. And if you have a few naps like that when they're an infant, you're not going to break their sleeping habits for later on. They're an infant. So grab yourself a baby carrier. I really didn't need a stroller. I will go into that again. For my don't needs, you don't need a stroller. Newborn babies don't want to be in a stroller. It's too far away, they want to be close to you. So I got myself a Cuddly Wrap, which I found with a summer baby was just too hot. So we didn't end up using this too much, a little bit around the house, but definitely not out and about, definitely not going for walks. It was just too hot. If it was a winter baby, this would have been fantastic, definitely all that I needed, and I just loved him in it. It felt so soft and cozy. I'll leave you a picture of that one as well. But we did get the Chimperoo Mai Tai, and as an infant baby carrier, this is hands down my favorite baby carrier for an infant. And I will do a separate video on this sucker because I loved it so much. I will insert another picture right here. But it is hands down, I believe, one of the safest baby carriers out there for an infant. You can do legs out right from the beginning, and they are just fabulous. So a baby carrier for multiple reasons, but I'm going to stuff it in that sleeping category. Eat, sleep, poop. You need diapers. Whether you cloth diaper, whether you don't cloth diaper, you need diapers, you need wipes, and you need bum cream. I did a video before on bum cream I made. I've had to do another set of bum cream now. It lasted me, the first 10 ounces I made lasted just over 6 months. I made them just a day or two before Christmas, and it is fantastic. I absolutely love my bum cream over and above anything else that I've used. I will do a quick link in the bottom to the video on making baby bum cream that is safe for cloth diapers and is great for disposable diapers as well. Eat, sleep, poop, clothing. So clothing items. Clothing items that you do need baby hats. Emmett was a summer baby and he only wore a hat for probably the first couple of weeks. But most of the time I actually didn't need hats. But now that it's winter, I need hats. So it depends again on what time of year your baby's born, because really they temperature regulate a little bit as a newborn, and if they're going to overheat, they will expel it through their head. So my summer baby would only really need a very light hat or a cotton hat, and my winter baby definitely needs a hat all the time. So really just depends on the time of year what kind of hat you need, but you do need some hats. You don't need scratch mitts. I didn't use scratch mitts ever. I think I bought 5 pairs. I knit them a pair. You don't need scratch mitts. Yeah, it just wasn't needed. For clothing wise, you do need about, I had got away with 5 sleepers. 4 really, because one of them he outgrew really fast. You don't need newborn sleepers. You're fine with size 3 months. And he was 7 pounds 11 ounces, and he probably grew out of the newborn ones within a week. But I will say you want stuff that you can lie baby in, that opens up the front, that you can just lie him in and put him on. Don't want stuff that you're trying to put over a floppy newborn baby's head. Everybody told me that I would need these lovely little sleepers that have easy bum change thing. You don't need these. I couldn't get Emmett in one of these at the beginning. Like, it's huge. A, and B, they're just so cumbersome to try and get that much material up and over their head. I did not find that these were functionable for me at all. So not a must-have, definitely a do without. But really anything, sleepers were great that you could just plop him in. Some of these do have scratch mitts on them if you want that route, but anything you just plop baby in will get you a lot further. And it's same with onesies. You want ones that open up and that you can just lie him in and do them up. They are the best. You need that kind. I also will say I loved zippers over snaps. Fiddling with snaps, it's just not my thing. I'm trying to get used to them now because they're very hard to find zipper stuff in bigger babies' clothes. No scratch mitts. Waste of time. Alright, eat, sleep, poop, clothing, health and hygiene. Okay, so with health and hygiene, I could not have lived without my bath seat. Okay, getting in the bath with him totally works. If you want to just crawl in the tub, get somebody to pass them to you, do it all safely, that's fine. But my bath seat is everything. I still use it every day. You're definitely going to get your money out of that. I bought mine used for $5. He lived on it outside in the summer. It was a nice breathable chair that I could put him in on the patio. I could dump water over him outside even. And then also in the bathtub, it was somewhere safe that I knew he was okay and wasn't just a slippery, slimy baby in my hands as I'm leaning into a big bathtub. Didn't like the little baby bathtubs. They just didn't do it for me. You do need a nose sucker, although I honestly never have used it. But some babies do have a lot of congestion, especially as newborns, especially if your baby is a C-section. There's a lot of extra mucus that they need to get rid of, so a nose sucker. I did not, because I never used this, use a nose Frida. It's still in the packaging. Definitely didn't need it. If you find you're using this bulb sucker every day, then you might want to go and get a nose Frida. But you don't need it if you don't need this. So, there you go. Along the lines of health and hygiene too, a numerous number of thermometers. An ear thermometer, sometimes when they're first newborns, you're not getting a correct reading because of water in their ears. When that dissipates after the first week or two, then an ear thermometer will work. If you get a high temperature on an axillary thermometer, you want to do a rectal thermometer. These are a bit softer, flexible, so you're not hurting their poor little bums, you do want a rectal thermometer. That being said, I've never had to take Emmett's temperature except for once or twice when he had his immunizations. I did take his. So you don't need a whole lot when it comes to thermometers, but you definitely do need one on hand just in case. I will say I needed a thermometer. Day 10 after Emmett was born, I had my first bout of mastitis. I have had mastitis 4 or 5 times now, and that is a key indicator, and sometimes other than feeling like poop, your only indicator that you're sick, and it was a high fever. So I needed a thermometer. More than Emmett has so far. Don't need scratch mitts, but you need a nail clip. Don't need nail files. Their fingers or nails are just so soft, those nail files are useless. So I'll do a separate one for breastfeeding like I said, but I think that is it for this. I hope this helps. I'm sorry I rambled. Yeah. But must-haves, do-withouts, watch a few of these videos, pick what's important to you, but I hope this helped a bit. I think my baby is waking up, and I know because he's on a monitor. You need a monitor. He's waking up. So that is it for us. Anyway, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see that breastfeeding one, or if you're just loving talking with me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.